Matt,
Yeah.
could you please rank the Michael Bay Transformers movies from best to worst?
Sure.
Oh, I want to hear
Absolutely,
this.
I can do that.
Awesome.
Yes, I'll step
Please.
forward.
on,
Of
Matt,
the
rank
Michael
my
Bay
movies.
Transformers movies, the best one, starting at the top,
All right.
is the first one, Transformers.
I agree.
Correct.
I've only seen the first 3 of them, but I agree with you.
Yes.
I haven't seen them all.
I've seen them all.
sorry.
Number two.
Don't.
Number two
You
is
don't need to see
not
them,
among
really,
those
please.
films. Number 3 is not among those films. Number 4 is not among those films. Number 5 is the remaining 4 films, ranked in order. So
Just like
yeah.
in order of release.
No. Like there's the best one is the first one,
Yeah.
and then there
All
are
others
no
are
in
tied for
between,
last.
and the
This
remaining
space-
4 are
Tied
all the
for
worst
fifth.
ones.
This space intentionally left blank.
I would make an argument for the first 30 or so minutes of Dark of the Moon
Yeah.
because I'm a space nerd and it's real good.
Yeah, no, I did in more like,
But yeah, like
more
it's-
elaborately in the spirit of the
Yeah.
challenge. The first one is the best one. It's actually almost good. Like it's actually
Almost.
almost
Yeah,
good.
I remember we
not
left the
quite.
theater and we were like, that was actually fun.
Yeah,
that was,
like, it's
it was
big.
entertaining and they had like the banter was fine and the Transformers looked like a
And-
complete mess, but what, sure.
But they
Yeah.
brought Peter Cullen in.
And like,
Yeah, it had problems.
Sidebar, Bumblebee looks like it might be a return to that form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Bumblebee
Bumblebee
looks
looks
incredible.
really
Michael
good.
Bay is not directing Bumblebee also.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there's that.
it is the director of Kubo and the Two Strings.
It'll be a lot better than
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, which is
Okay.
an incredible movie.
It is.
But it'll be a lot better than the one in which they rewrote the entire history of the franchise, as well as rewriting all of history by having the Transformers fight in World War II and also go all the way back to the time of King Arthur.
Yeah.
Which
That
So-
entire
wow.
movie was a mess.
Yeah. So the first one's pretty good. There's a couple of plot lines that they could drop, and yeah, if they had just made the bots look like the bots, like they are doing for Bumblebee,
Yeah.
it would have been a perfectly adequate movie. 2 is atrocious because it was
Oh,
not
yeah.
there was no script.
Writer strike.
We were in the middle of the writer's strike. 3 is actually almost good again.
Yeah,
There are some really weird like discontinuities in that movie.
Yeah, there's
Like
some weird-
Bumblebee goes from like being tied up to not being like captured again over the course of a scene without having been rescued, and like
Yeah, there's
there's
a-
some weird stuff. Prime gets to like combine with whatever the SR-71 is and have this like flying pack, and he gets a cool action scene, and then gets like taken out of the battle
Yeah.
and strung up by a crane. But like that movie's almost okay. 4 is incomprehensible.
That one
5
was
is
so
incomprehensible.
bad. It was like Optimus Prime is a terrible leader, and
Yes.
like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
it's
Like,
just
it's-
character assassination.
Like yes, it's bad to Prime, but it's
Yeah.
like again, there's like some good action scenes in that movie.
Yeah,
like
but it
it's,
really falls apart in the third act.
oh yeah, like it's not a good movie.
Is
4,
that-
4 and 5 are incomprehensible.
4 and 5 are
garbage,
incomprehensible.
yeah.
It's just
the
they
third
look
one's
pretty.
the one with the wrecking balls and the
No,
The second one is the
that's
one with the
two.
wrecking balls.
and
I am underneath
Yeah,
the
look,
enemies.
Two is the old
terrible
man.
comic relief
Yeah.
Transformers that are
Yes,
like
that are extremely
more than a little
kind of racist.
racially problematic.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
two is the
2 is very
worst.
bad.
Right, yeah.
2 is definitely probably the worst of them
Alright.
because the 4th and 5th are incomprehensible, but not that
Oh,
bad.
and the 5th does include the best diegetic music joke I've ever seen.
Which is
Are you familiar with the concept of?
yes,
Okay.
diegesis.
It is this. Anthony Hopkins is explaining the history of the. He's basically explaining King Arthur and how it involves the Transformers. And it's this flashback, and you see all this other stuff, and there's this heroic, like, slowly swelling organ music and everything as he's explaining it to Mark Wahlberg. And then it, like, just, like, slam cuts back to his robot butler just going berserk on this giant organ. And it came so out of left field that I laughed so hard. And then they do it again with an opera aria later in the same flashback. They just cut back and he's just like singing.
Diejet had to get Anthony Hopkins for that movie because
Money.
spoilers, he'll do anything.
Yeah. But however, it is clear through the performance Anthony Hopkins knows exactly what kind of movie he is in.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
There,
Yeah.
there are interviews with Anthony Hopkins where he's like, I wanted to do it because it's this big, loud, dumb, stupid movie,
Yeah.
and like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he had no illusions about
He
what he was
looks
in.
like he's having a blast.
I have to ask, Matt, are you familiar with Shattered Glass at all?
No.
Okay, we'll talk later.
Okay.
All right.
Diet for those watching who aren't familiar, diegetic sound is or diegesis in filmmaking is when the filmmaking thing comes from within the world of the film,
Yeah.
right? Like it's so in that case, it's like there's this swelling organ music that is then revealed to actually exist in the world that the characters are in.
Like when
Yeah.
you see clock radio and it's playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
someone
like-
turns on lights.
Well, the
and
entirety
lights
of Baby Driver.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
really good example of music becoming diegetic, and like the difference would be like you've got a soundtrack playing as a guy drives along in a car, and then it like
Yeah, as it
and then
shoot
it-
goes from the
it
wine
goes
to the
wine
shot
to
in the
close, and then
car.
he turns it off, and the music turns off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it was the soundtrack. Oh no, he was actually listening to it as non-diegetic to
Yeah.
diegetic.
So often that gets applied to like the music is coming like from the object, which
Yeah.
just reminds me of that one PUBG glitch video where the van was glitching like through
Yes.
the ground, and they're
That
using
is so good.
the deja
Deja
vu
vu
track, and they're
sound,
like, okay, we're fine, they're gone now, and just deja vu, and it appears back up to the ground.
It's incredible.